Thank you, Marcus. I would like to now introduce our commencement speaker for today. Wyatt Oroke is a nationally recognized educator for his work around social justice and literacy. He is a graduate of 2009 from our school. So just 10 years ago, he was sitting where you guys are sitting. Since then, he has gone up the road to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo to receive his master's degree and receive his bachelor's degree and receive his master's degree from Johns Hopkins University. Wyatt has served as an English teacher in Baltimore City for the past 6 years, during which time he has received extensive praise for his work both inside and outside of the classroom. He has received several awards, including the Johns Hopkins University Alumni Community Hero Award, the Community Activist Award from the University of Baltimore School of Law, and the Community Hero Award from the Baltimore Orioles. He was also a nominee for the International Teacher of the Year, was recognized by the Maryland State Senate for his excellence in education, and received national recognition when he appeared twice on the Ellen DeGeneres Show and was given the Superhero Award by Ellen. Mr. O, as he's affectionately known, continues to serve 7th and 8th grade students in the City Springs Elementary Middle School of Baltimore. At the school, he also serves as the middle school team leader and coaches the poetry, basketball, and volleyball teams. Let us give a warm Villanova welcome to our commencement speaker, Mr. Wyatt Oroke.
So the other day, I was sitting in my classroom about 2 weeks back, and we're sitting in this Socratic seminar. And we're reading this poem by a Baltimore poet named Nia June, and it's called School Days. And it explores the inequities that exist within our school systems in Baltimore. And there's a girl sitting about 3 seats over from me named Nia. And Nia raises her hand. She says, I'm confused, Mr. O. I said, okay, what are you confused about? It's a hard poem. And she says, is education meant to pull us up or to push us down? And some fear and worry started filling up inside me. And it wasn't a fear and worry from the question she asked. It was a fear and worry because I didn't know how to answer it. We live in a society where education is both the most liberating system in the world and at the same time the most oppressive system in the world. While it builds people up, it pushes people down. And for my student Nia, it more often than not has pushed her down and not allowed her to pursue her passions, not allowed her to pursue what she deserves to pursue. It's a system riddled with inequities, a system that has liberated the minds of humanity for centuries, while at the same time crippling the advancements of others. And it's because of this duality, this system that lifts and pushes down at the same time, that it becomes a responsibility of us, those who have been awarded an excellent education, to help raise others up. We must ensure that every person, regardless of their identity, their zip code, or where they call home, can see the beauty and the power in education, just as so many of us who have gone to this school have seen. I've never cared much about how much education a person has received, because instead what I care about is what you do with the education that you have been given. Because your education will mean nothing if you do nothing with it. These last 4 years will have been a waste of your time if you do not go out into the world and practice truth, love, and unity in your daily lives. You see, we've been given an extraordinary gift today, but also an extraordinary power today. So my question for you is this: What are you going to do with that power? What are you going to do now that society is looking to you for the answers? How will you use the lessons you have learned here to open up doors for others, lift others up, and challenge the structures and systems of oppression that hold people back? For it is this responsibility for those of us who walk with this power to not simply change how people see the world, but change how people move within it. You see, changing perspectives only matters if you change movement as well. So we cannot simply talk about positive change, but we must be the positive change. We cannot simply show someone a better world, we must be the better world. And that ability to harness your power comes from thoughtful, positive, and meaningful reflections about yourself. There's this 18th century Enlightenment scholar named Immanuel Kant who coined the Latin phrase sapere aut, and it means dare to know. And it's that idea, that phrase, that has driven the work I've done for the past 6 years and during my time here at Villanova and at Cal Poly. That idea that we are required to stretch our minds, stretch our imaginations, stretch our beliefs, stretch our creativity in a way that allows us and others to access greatness. On this day, I implore you to dare to know, to dare to believe in a brighter future, dare to challenge those who may question you, dare to push yourself in a way you never imagined possible, and dare to challenge structures and systems of oppression that hold people back. It wasn't long ago, as Mr. Grissom pointed out, that I sat where you sit today. And I remember looking at the people on stage and the teachers to my side. I remember thinking about my parents and family members sitting behind me. And I thought about all they'd done for me, all the belief they had shown in me, all the sacrifices they had made to ensure I had an excellent education. And I remember thinking that I could never let their dreams for me be bigger than my own dreams. Because you must never let someone dream bigger for you than you are dreaming for yourself today. I was talking with my kids on Thursday before coming out here. I told them what I was doing, and yes, I had not done the speech yet at that point. And so I'm talking to them in the class, I'm like, what do you think I should say? And they were giving me those like stereotypical, like, oh, reach for the stars, pursue your passions, those things you hear every year. And it's after school, and one of my students' first grade brothers is sitting with me, and he comes in my room every day after school to do his homework. And after my middle schoolers gave all their advice, I asked him, I said, Kyrie, what should I tell him? And he's like coloring something in on his homework, and he looks at me with this toothy grin, and he says, tell them they got to do better. And I was like, I said, Kyrie, I said, first, I'm pretty sure it's an amazing group of people. I went to that school. It's a good school. They've worked really hard to get here. Like, I don't know if that's the message. And he just looked back up with his toothy grin, and he says, oh, perfect. Then it'll be easy for them to do. We must do better than those who came before us. We are required to do better than those who came before us. We cannot sit on sidelines. We cannot hide behind computer screens or phones. We must instead be active participants in the creation of a future of greatness, a future of successes, a future of beauty. We must ask one another, what doors are you now opening for others? What communities are you now empowering? And what stories are you helping to write? I think I took my own high school graduation for granted. I don't really remember the day that well. And I think for me it was like just another box I had to check off, right? I knew I was going to graduate high school. It was never something I questioned, or my parents questioned. And I don't know if that's the same feeling that many of you have had. It's just like another day. Great, and I go to college. Great, and I got to graduate that. And I didn't realize I took it for granted until recently. And I was talking to one of my former students who had come back, and I asked her, she's a freshman in high school, I said, have you ever been to a high school graduation? And she just looked at me and she said, well, I was supposed to. And my naive self, asked her why she missed it. And I remember her shrugging her shoulders and saying, my brother didn't live long enough to make it to high school graduation. And today I'm forced to reckon with the many scholars I have taught who were supposed to graduate today in Baltimore. The Tyreeks and Denishas, the Alexises and Juans, the Davids and Alamars who don't get to experience a moment like this today. They don't get to live this moment. They don't get to walk across this stage. And so I'm going to ask you something today on behalf of them. I need you to embrace this moment. I need you to embrace it for every person who'll never get to. My senior year here, I lost one of my best friends. Committed suicide, and he didn't get to graduate. And so today I need you to take some extra pictures for those who don't get to take pictures today. I need you to hug your mothers for those who don't get to hug their mothers today. And I need you to thank your teachers for those who never get to thank the people who welcome you today. That's what I need from you today. I need you to cherish this moment because the next one's not promised. And I want to leave you with one more story. Right after I graduated college, I packed everything up and I moved to Baltimore literally the day after graduating from Cal Poly. I had like a backpack and a suitcase. I'm like, here we go. Time to start the next chapter of my life. And Grandma, she calls me and she says, hey, did you get the card I sent you? No, Grandma, I have not had time during the plane ride to get the card that you sent me. But she kept calling and kept calling. She's like, did you get the card? Did you get the card? Did you get the card? And I hadn't. It was lost in a bag. I didn't know where it was. My grandma's not one for writing, and so I was like, I wonder what she said that was so important. And so a couple days go by, and I finally find it at the bottom of one of these bags. And I open it up because I'm like, here we go, Grandma, here we go, this is your moment. And inside she wrote, thank you for everything, love, Anna, and Bapa. And I was like, Grandma. You've called me 7 straight days about this card, and that's the message. And so I closed it up. I was really irritated. I threw it on my desk out of frustration. And I looked down at the card that was facing face up. And there was a quote across the front of it. And it said, some people look for a beautiful place. Others make a place beautiful. And I quickly realized that was the message she wanted for me. Because you see, in our society, it's so easy to try and search out a beautiful place, the perfect school to go to, the perfect place to live, the perfect job to have. But far fewer of us take the time to roll up our sleeves and seek to improve the communities that we wish to call our homes. It's one thing to search out the beauty of the world. It's a far more important thing to create the beauty that surrounds you. So class of 2019, I ask you to create the beauty in this world that you wish to see, to empower the communities that you wish to call your homes, and to create a world where all people have the potential to blossom and grow, a world you are proud to call your own. So thank you for this humbling experience today. Now go out and fill our world with love. Thank you, Villanova.